toilet on free play too.
Hey, and welcome to A Million Ways to Vegas. My name is Taylor, and this is day 2 of a trip I took to Vegas earlier this year. Let's get going. On this trip, I was running around Vegas sort of on a solo trip while my wife Lindsay was attending a conference. I started day 2 at Peppermill since we were staying at Fontainebleau. This was the first time my hotel was within walking distance of Peppermill. The mirrors on the ceiling, the pink and blue neon, the fake trees, and flamingo lampshades, the Peppermill just oozes Vegas. There's so much Vegas personality wrapped up in one place, and I kind of wish there was a little more of this sort of thing still on the Vegas Strip. I decided to pop into Resorts World since it was basically across the street, and I hadn't been there in a while. It happened to be my birthday month, and when I went to get a copy of my player's card, the lady at the cashier's cage said there's going to be some random amount of free play applied or added to my card, and it turned out to be $150. I didn't play it right away because I knew that I wanted to come back to Resorts World later that evening with my wife and one of our clients for drinks after their conference. From Resorts World, I hit the road and headed south, making stops to check out Wynn and Venetian. These were really quick walkthroughs. I always like to see if there's any changes to their seasonal decor or if there have been any other big changes at these properties. I moved on down the strip through Harrah's, Linq, and the Flamingo. On a day like this, where I'm mostly on my own, I don't really have a plan. For me, it's about exploring, checking out lots of different properties, doing a little bit of people watching, stopping to take photos, and maybe having a cocktail. When I'm on my own, I normally save my gambling bankroll for the evenings. No particular reason, I just like to do it this way. If I don't have a show or a concert planned, which I didn't this trip, I tend to have a little bit more fun gambling in the evening and then taking in the sights during the day. Headed across the street over to the Bellagio to see what they had set up in the conservatory. It was Lunar New Year theme, which was actually pretty cool. This is a must-do for me on every trip. I always love checking out what they have going on in the conservatory. After the conservatory, my next stop was Cosmopolitan. The new walkways that connect Bellagio, Cosmo, Verdena, and Harrah make getting from one property to another so easy. I headed up to the Chandelier Bar for a Verbena. Now, I don't always get a Verbena when I'm at the Cosmo, but every once in a while, it's fun to get one since it's so unique. By this point, I think most people know what a Verbena is, but if not, it's a drink that comes with this little Szechuan button that you eat before drinking the cocktail. It's an experience you ought to try at least once. I'll never forget the first time I had one of these, the numbing effect from the Szechuan button. It felt like it took my breath away, and I thought I was literally having heart palpitations in the moment. After my Verbena, I decided to go against my daytime gambling rule, which isn't much of a rule because I tend to break it all the time, for a little Huff and More Puff and Phoenix Linq slot play.
I always do that. I would hit the screen and not play. All right, here we go. Not the mini, not the mini, not the mini. Buzzsaw. All right, buzzsaw. And they're all lined up too. This is pretty good. All right, all right. Buzzsaw feature. They're all lined up. Let's do this. Am I gonna start with 3 gold ounces? Dang. Those were in the perfect position, weren't they? Fantastic. 4 golds. I'm at Cosmo. Playing a little Huff and More Puff. God, I love this game. Re-trigger. There we go. Another gold. That's 5. Let's get a couple more golds. Come on, re-trigger here. Got 1. All right, I'm happy with that. Best bonus of the trip so far. Low rolling it on 75 cents a bet. Let's do it. Come on, Mr. Wolf. Grab a minor, maybe a major. Come on. Minis, all right. Hey, on a 75-cent bet, 104.25. I can't complain about that. Freaking awesome. Cheers. $0.50 and a dollar bet on this new Phoenix Linq game, and I got the bonus on 50 cents, so let's see how it goes. $1.80. Oh, it's almost unbelievable. Thanks, Phoenix Linq.
Next stop was Ski Lodge. I love that places like this exist, that someone had the wacky idea to make a small ski lodge themed bar in the middle of the Las Vegas Strip and then sort of hide it. It's what I love about the Cosmo and Vegas in general. It makes no sense, but somehow works beautifully. I had the coffee chopper, which has rye whiskey, espresso, taverna, and cherry branca. It was delicious. There was a very nice bartender. It's very expensive. This was a $25 cocktail, which is kind of sadly the norm at a lot of places on the Strip these days. With 2 stiff drinks under my belt, I needed food, which meant I was headed upstairs to Secret Pizza. There was no line, which is kind of the best way to find Secret Pizza. I had a quick slice of pepperoni. This was just sort of a snack before grabbing a car back to the Fontainebleau. I was meeting up with my wife, Lindsay, and a client for actual dinner at Tacos El Gordo. Quick tip, if you are in the North Strip area and looking for a reasonably priced meal that is absolutely delicious, I highly recommend Tacos El Gordo. It's quick, it's fresh, and better than pretty much any fast food joint. It's also right across the street from Resorts World, where we wanted to go for drinks. Our first stop was Here Kitty Kitty Vice Den, the speakeasy in the Resorts World food hall. You enter through what looks like a store display case into a back room. I had a bartender's choice cocktail where you basically name what spirit you want and they build a drink from that. I chose gin and ended up with something that kind of resembled a gin sour. It was garnished with a candied ginger. And I very much enjoyed the cocktail and our time here. We definitely go back to Here Kitty Kitty Vice Den. Ready for our second round, we headed upstairs to Ale on 66, a cocktail lounge near the top of Resorts World with incredible Vegas views. There's a small outside patio where you can get some fresh air and take in the sights. I ordered a Bananas Foster Old Fashioned. It was pretty good, but maybe a little bit sweet for my taste. Ale on 66 was fine. It wasn't something I need to do on every trip, but it was a nice place when you're in the mood for a decent cocktail and really want that view. On the way out, we decided to stop and play my $150 in free play. We played a couple of machines, turning the $150 in free play into about $60. Then we hit $90 on Huff and More Puff, and then we hit a little more.
From the hat bonus at Resorts World. Another re-trigger. Right. Another re-trigger. Whoa. This is ridiculous. On free play too. So I don't know what happened. I put a $10 bill in and I had $150-ish in free play from Resorts World. That's a lot of brick houses. I should have upped the bet. All right. All right, Mr. Wolf. Let's do it again. Do it again.
Those are pennies, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Long brick houses.
Come on. All right.
Hey.
$147. That's
Our
ridiculous.
drinks are paid for.
All right, another coin show. Unbelievable. I put in $10 of my own money, and I think we're up to almost $300 now.
Cashed out at $297 after just putting $10 of my own money in the machine. A couple of nice cocktails and a really nice slot bonus are a perfect way to end a long day in Vegas. It was back to Fontainebleau for some sleep. Hopefully you are enjoying these little snapshots of my trip to Vegas. This concludes day 2, and if you made it this far, I really appreciate you watching. Please subscribe for more, and I should have day 3 up soon. Thanks.